Good afternoon and welcome to Educates Motivates Marketing webinar. My name is Chelsea Cagle and Jesse Crawford is on the line as well. We're glad you were able to join us today and we're excited to be back for our second E2M marketing webinar. Before we start today's call, here are a few housekeeping items. There will be a Q&A opportunity at the end of the call. And there are two ways to ask a question. On your GoToWebinar toolbar, there's a hand icon. Click on it if you want to ask a question, and I will unmute you and you may pose your question. You may also type questions into the chat box. Today's program is being recorded and it'll be available later this week for review. Our goal in the call is to provide you with the highest level of service and expertise possible and to remind you that we are available as a marketing resource to help you succeed. In today's presentation, we will be revealing how to build a LinkedIn presence by creating a LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn company page, and LinkedIn groups. I'd like to welcome Jesse to the line. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Chelsea. Thanks everyone for joining. Just to reiterate what we're going to be our objectives for today's presentation, we're going to cover how to build a LinkedIn profile, company page, group, and then cover some LinkedIn and compliance issues, and then tips to remember. Also, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google+, where you can stay up to date with any news or marketing information that we may post. And as on our YouTube channel, we post all of our videos, so if you happen not to catch the whole program today, you can catch the rest of it on our YouTube channel. We're going to start off running a poll, and we just want to get a good idea of what our audience is using LinkedIn for. So today's poll is, do you use LinkedIn for business purposes? And the questions are yes, or answers, yes, I have found success. I'm trying, so maybe you don't know enough about the program, or you're trying to get it implemented into your marketing, or no, I don't know enough about the platform.
Okay, we've only got about 70% voted, so I'll just give them a couple more seconds. 82%.
All right, why don't we just go ahead and close the poll and we'll share the results.
Okay,
it looks like, oh, go ahead, Chelsea.
I was just going to say, it looks like about 7% say that they have found success using LinkedIn and 93% say they are trying.
Well, that's good because we have 0% of our audience. They don't know enough about the platform. So this will be a good starter for you to try to help you find success within the platform. So today we're going to be covering LinkedIn, and I wanted to start off with some statistics. It's no secret that financial companies increasingly take advantage of many benefits of social media. It's a must because consumers become more and more brand savvy. With this Putnam's findings, it shows that 95% of 305 advisors that were interviewed use LinkedIn for business purposes. So for those of you who answered that you're trying to use LinkedIn, it's very vital that you do become more and more savvy within the program, seeing that there's such a high rate of attendance or usage among the networks. So to start, we're going to be going over the LinkedIn profile, and this is just going to include the basic information. You can see on the right I have an overview of what a profile looks like. It includes your headshot, your name, your activity feed, which is anything that you've posted or any contacts that you've become networked with, and then your background. All right, so optimizing your profile is what is going to give you more coverage within your network and for more and more of your audience to see your profile. And just by adding a professional headshot alone is going to, for example, makes your profile 7 times more likely to be viewed by others, according to LinkedIn data. So that alone is a huge plus. And one thing that we'd like to mention is that you can either have your LinkedIn profile picture private, or you can make that public. And what that means is when someone's trying to search you, they'll be able to see your picture if you mark it public. So we suggest always to mark it public, whether or not you're allowing somebody to view it with they're not connected or whether they are connected. Below the name, under my name, Jesse Crawford, we have our headline, and that just gives a little bit about what your position is and what you do. a good thing to keep in mind, and we've mentioned this in our previous webinar, is to have that key rich within your industry. So not only do I mention that I'm a marketing specialist, but what we focus on. And then also, since we do work for Innovision, an estate planning firm, we mention advanced estate planning. Below that, you have the greater Chicago area, which is where you're located, and your industry that you're in, so financial services. Underneath that, it's just going to be populated from the below tabs, which I'll get into, with current and previous and your education, so you don't have to worry about editing that here. But one thing that I've want to point out is right here there's an Improve Your Profile tab, which is a nice button just to click on, which will help run through your profile and let you know any areas that you haven't added or any areas that you need to improve on. Another important area on this part of your profile is your LinkedIn URL, and this is just something that's extremely important for search engine optimization. We've mentioned this before, is creating a specialized unique link to your profile. So LinkedIn is going to be the first half of that link, and then I follow that by my name. Now if your name is going to be taken up, you can either add it, finish it off with a designation or certificate that you have. If Jessie was to be taken up, my full name is Jessica, so I could have done that as well. One thing to keep in mind that also, if you're going to be changing this, let's say I did do it to Jessica Crawford, to have my contact name up top be the same as well. In this tab, the contact info, this is just going to be ways for your network contacts to get a hold of you. And you can also make this public or private for viewers that aren't connected to you. You include your email address, your address, which we use our website, and then any of your social media platforms. And what's nice about this option is that it allows you to not just put the URL, but to have it as a hyperlink. So it gives you the option to include the title of the web page and then the actual URL. So right now this is just a link to our Innovision's Twitter account. On our websites, I included our Innovision website, Educate to Motivate, and then our blog. Underneath our contact info, we have the background, and the background is just going to give a summary about who you are and what you do. Here it is magnified. You can see the summary, my current position, our team approach, and my part. And this is just going to be something that you're going to want to focus on using keyword-rich content about who you are, what you do, what your company does, if you're in the market for a new job, to include what your specialties are, what your strengths are, and what you're looking for. A new feature that within the last year that they've added is under summary and some of the other tabs is an option to add links. So we have linked our advanced planning for high net worth client. This just goes to our home page, and then an image that defaults that's on the page, the web page that you are linking it to. For your experience, you're going to want to list as much experience as you can. The first one starts off with the most recent. So I have marketing, which then my title down below, and it says the years that you've been with the company, and then you're just going to want to give a brief description about what the company does. Newer feature too is that the recommendations fall now underneath the company or the position that you're being recommended for. So I have a couple here that are just being displayed. And then it also shows some projects that I've worked on or that you can upload that you've worked on under that job position. Like I mentioned in the summary, there's the option to upload links, which is a great feature to add anything that's a newly added service, or you want to highlight if you were in the news, let's say an article published, this would be the place to do it. Below that, on the left side, you can see that we have the marketing and then another position that I've held. And we have the same links below where we've added a little thumbnail of the web page and then recommendation for that position. Skills and expertise is another thing that you're going to want to cover on your profile. What this gives is just your strengths, your skills, and your expertise, what a contact or a non-networked contact can come to you for. And this is also an added bonus because people can endorse you for them. And we'll go into that under tips on how to endorse somebody and how that can strengthen your ways to be found through LinkedIn. So once you start typing in your skills or expertise, it's going to start populating what are the top skills in that area. So you're going to want to go with the top terms or keywords that are already in use. Digital marketing, social media marketing, these are just some of the ones that expertise or skills that I have. There's also what you also know about is below that, and that can either be a program, that can be another skill or expertise, and these ones are also you're able to get endorsed for. Publications and certifications is another tab along the profile that's important for you to insert. If you don't have any publications, leave it out, or certifications or courses, just leave it out. But if you have them, it's very vital that you include them because it just makes you more of an expert in your industry. So the book or publications, gives you a little summary of what it is, and then the year that you worked on it, the date, and then a link within that. Certifications is just something where you can specify any certifications in your industry or anything else that you've been certified in under this. And then courses are courses that you have taught. This isn't of my profile, but this is of one of our colleagues. And these are just a bit of his technical presentations, in which we host every month at InnoVision. All right, so the final thing on the LinkedIn profile that I'd like to cover is volunteer experience and causes. Mentioning this in the previous webinar last month, this is just going to give your contacts or out-of-network contacts a little bit about who you are and what you care about. So you can go through volunteer experiences, and what's nice is below that it also has causes you care about. So it also gives you an outreach for somebody that is looking for, let's say, a volunteer in that area. They can come to you. And then different organizations you support, whether it be through donations or through physical help or your time or whatnot. And then a final thing that I'm just going to mention within the profile is that all of these different tabs you're able to move around in your profile. So once you go into edit, this tab right here, you can just reorder them to whatever you like. So depending on what you feel is most important about you and your resume, include that at the top, or what you have the most information about, put that at the top. I think skills and expertise should be before the fold of the computer screen, so nobody has to scroll down to see what you're skilled and expertise in. And I put volunteer experience and causes closer to the end because it is something about you, but it's not the most relevant to and within your industry. All right, so we have Chelsea that's going to move into LinkedIn company page.
Great, thanks Jess. Okay, so a LinkedIn company page is just essentially a LinkedIn profile for your company. It's a place to showcase your company, get your company's brand just out on the internet. And LinkedIn members, it's also a place where LinkedIn members just can learn a little bit more about your company and the products and services you offer. And as of June 2013, there are over 3 million LinkedIn company pages and 1.2 million products and services showcased on LinkedIn. Let's see. Okay, so setting up a company page, the first thing you're going to want to do is just start by adding some basic information. So we suggest using your company logo as the profile picture for the company page, and that's going to be 100 by 60 pixels. And then you also have the option to upload, similar to a cover photo on Facebook, just a cover photo for your company page. So we use that image is actually what we use on our website as well, and we use that cover photo is 646 by 220 pixels. Okay, um, so you're going to have a little about section, and that's where you're going to provide a brief description. So you'll want to put down a few sentences about what your company does. We suggest using keywords here just because it's going to help your SEO. It's going to help you get found in search pages. And then you have the specialties. Again, use keywords here. So for an example, be as detailed as possible. So for us, instead of just doing e-newsletter, we like to use like estate planning e-newsletter or business planning e-newsletter. And then you're also going to want to put down your headquarters, a link to your website, the type of company, the year it was founded, the industry that it's in, and the company size. Okay, so your products and services. So a great thing about LinkedIn, the LinkedIn company page, is that it allows you to showcase the products you offer, the services you provide. So similar to a website, you kind of have like a home page for your products and services. So you're going to want to put a banner image up. You can use up to 3 images on here, and they're 646 by 222 pixels as well. We have an image for our content marketing, and then we also have an image for our e-newsletter marketing. And these pictures actually are links, so you want to put a link to your website or the web page in those as well. And then once you've created your home page, you can create individual products and services pages for each one of the products or services that you offer. And as you can see, all the products and services will be listed on the home page. So our e-newsletter marketing, our marketing consultant, and our content marketing are all uh, listed here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go through a quick outline of the steps of how to add a product or service to your company page. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is choose whether you're going to do a product or service. The second is going to be just choosing the category, and a couple of examples of the categories are business services, consulting, financial services, education, marketing, or advertising. You want to put your product or service name, so you can see for ours, one of ours is the marketing consultants. Upload an image or a thumbnail that relates to the product or service, which is going to be 100 by 80 pixels. Okay, then you're going to want to just put a brief description. And again, we're kind of redundant when we say this, but whenever there's going to be a description about something, you're going to want to use keywords that are industry specific, just because it's going to help with your SEO. And then at the bottom, under the overview, there's going to be a list of keywords that you're going to want to put down there, or key features. So for for our marketing ones, we have marketing consultants, we have the social media that we specialize in, search engine optimizations on there, social media marketing. For our e-newsletter or our content marketing services that we provide, for the overviews and the features for that, um, we not only use keywords that describe the product, so in e-newsletter design, e-newsletter marketing, we also say who the product is for. So, we work with attorneys and financial advisors, and then the types of newsletters it is. So we do estate planning and business planning newsletters. And then at the bottom of that, any disclaimers that you have to put on there, we suggest putting them there. Okay, then you can put a link to your website or your web page. So you can see for our marketing consultants, it doesn't have to specifically be for your website, so educatetomotivate.com, you can actually put it to a specific page. So our marketing, or our content marketing would be our / content marketing page. And then you can add contacts from your company. So if you want to have just specifically a salesperson listed because you think that that's who you want people to contact, put them down. Jesse and I are both on there for ours. You can add a product or a promotion if you have any promotions going on. Put those on there, and then you can also add YouTube videos. So right now we have our last webinar recording on all of our pages, but we're going to be putting this one on there next. Okay, and then another feature of having a company page is that LinkedIn will track the analytics for you. So this is the top is what the analytics page looks like. So the first is going to be your updates, and the preview is a preview of what the post says. The date is obviously when it was posted. The audience is who you shared it with. So when you go to post or share something, you have the option to either post to everybody or you can do a targeted audience. Sponsored is you can sponsor this update. It's kind of similar to pay-per-click ads. The impressions are the number of times each update was shown to LinkedIn members. The clicks, obviously a number of people that have clicked on it. It actually is the number of people that have clicked on either your content, your company name, or your logo. The interactions are the number of times people have liked, commented on, or shared each update. Followers acquired, how many followers you gained by sponsoring each update. And then the engagement is the number of interactions, clicks, and followers acquired divided by the number of impressions. Okay, then below the updates is going to be your reach, and the reach is just how many times your updates were seen both organically and through paid campaigns on a daily basis. And then next to that is the engagement, and it's how many, oops, sorry, I accidentally, let's see if I can go back. Okay, the engagement is how many times members clicked, liked, commented on, and shared your content in both organic and paid campaigns, as well as the number of followers acquired through paid campaigns. And then you can see you can change the date range. So this is just for the last 15 days. Okay, and then the last part about the analytics is the followers. So obviously the total number of followers is there on the left, and then the right is the follower demographics, and that's a breakdown of who's following your company using 5 types of demographic data. You can use that drop down that you see right there on the right, and that's going to say the seniority, the industry, the job function, the company size, and more. And then below that's the follower trends, how your number of followers has changed over time, and you can change the date range on that again. And then it's not pictured, but it shows how you compare, and it's just your number of followers compared to other company pages on LinkedIn. Okay, so we are going to run a poll before Jesse goes into LinkedIn groups. So let me run that poll really quick. Okay, so are you a member of any LinkedIn groups? Just yes or no. Give them just a couple more seconds. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll, Jess.
Okay, so it looks like we have about a 50-50 of our audience of yes, they're members, and yet no, they're not. So what does this mean? Well, going into the groups, we have this that nearly 1/2 of all leads to websites arriving from LinkedIn are first-time visitors, and these are coming from LinkedIn groups. So if you look right under here, we have groups, the first-time visitors, total visitors, and percent of visitors. So topping that is the profile, but groups are what's going to give you a lot of exposure as well. So people that are either joining your group that your company might have, or a group that you might be a member of and posting an article or questions or comments on. So here we have a little overview of our LinkedIn group. This is featuring InnoVision, and just a little overview. You have the logo up here, the name, discussion, promotion, job, search, and manage tabs. And then list of the discussions below that, either by most recent or popular. And then these are just top influencers in this group. And then latest activity and if there's any subgroups. Now, what's important about LinkedIn groups is that it's a place for members in the same industry to either share content, network with others, ask questions, start conversations, or become thought leaders. And as I had mentioned over here, we have John Warnick, who is a top influencer in this group. So he's using our he's using LinkedIn to become a thought leader. He's starting questions, he's asking questions, or he's starting conversation, asking questions, he's networking others, and sharing content, which are all vital in increasing your exposure within the platform. So right here, the first thing we're going to look at is the group profile. This is going to be right when you're looking to join a group. This is just giving a brief introduction about the group, what it's used for. We like to say summary, not only what our goal is for the group members, but also what it's there for, and if there are any restrictions. I know some groups don't like a lot of spammy things, so they'll put that in there and they'll kind of go through how they rule out discussions, promotion, jobs, postings, and stuff like that. We just have a little bit of description of what our goals are for the group. I have about the group when it was created, the type, members that are in the group, subgroup, which InnoVision has one, it's a study group, the owner of the group, which has my name, and then the managers of anybody who has the ability to manage the group, which we will go into in a little bit, and then the website. So the first tab on the group is Discussions tab, and this is going to be important for those who are going to be posting to a group. And then if you're going to be managing a group or building a group for your company, this is what you're going to want to regulate. So for those who are posting, you start the discussion right here. Once you start typing in a URL or a link, it's going to pull up a little description below. As you can see under Jack's right here, he has a description, and then it has what the headline of the discussion is. And we will go into the shortening of links as a tip in a little bit. But the discussion tab is just going to be where you're going to post articles, you're going to share updates of within your company. Anywhere, anything that you're going to want to share, this is going to be the place. Any promotions, it gets a little tricky depending on the group. Some find an invitation to a webinar, such as what we have been doing the last couple months, inviting others to join our webinars as a promotion. Others look at promotions more as something that's going to benefit their company. So if you're going to be posting to other groups, make sure that you're careful and sensitive as to what their rules are for posting, and you don't want to overpost, and you definitely don't want to be posting promotions and discussions if the group they do have rules about that. Promotion tabs, what I just mentioned, this is just going to be a place where you can post information about your company, promote something that you're doing. And so if you're coming to a group to look for something like this, to look for a service that maybe another networked contact is offering, this is going to be the place to find it. So one member in our group posts quite often as to different things that she's offering. And then we do have, let's say, different courses that are being offered that you can get CE credit for. I feel like fall mostly in a promotions tab. The jobs tab is a place for someone either to go to look for a job or to post one. So if you are the manager or owner of a group, and let's say you're looking to hire somebody as a financial advisor within your company or even as a marketing specialist, placing this under the group jobs tab will be a place for somebody who is in the industry that will come across this job offering. All right, for those who are group managers, or if you're going to be building a group, this is what you're going to be wanting to pay attention to, because changing the settings is going to make your life a little easier and also weed out the people that are just spamming or shouldn't even belong in the group to begin with. Maybe they're not in the same industry, or maybe they're just not a right fit. Also pay attention to competitors and stuff like that. So under the change the settings, our group for InnoVision is a private group. So public versus private is just going to, whether it be that somebody and anyone can join your group, Private means that somebody has to request to join. And then the manager gets notified, and then you decide whether you approve it or decline the invitation. Approval required to join, that's what's going to go with the private. And then approval of posts is something that we also manage. So any time that somebody wants to post either discussion, promotion, or job, we get notified and then we approve the post. And this option is also going to give you the opportunity to move a discussion into promotion or vice versa. So under Manage the Group, when you go to this tab on the far right, you're going to hit Submission Request, Submission Queue, and it's going to list out any discussions or any promotions. And then you approve, or you can move it to promotions, move to jobs, or just plain delete it. And then moderation queue are for people that are asking to join. Another feature on the group of a group manager in groups is that you get to send invitations. So we sent invitations to any of our contacts that work in our industry or that this group would be of interest to them. And the invitation can either be personalized with a request to join, welcoming them to the group, or letting them know why they should be joining this group. You can pre-approve people, which is down below, as well as up here. And then the group information, when I first went over the group summary, which was on right here, the group profile, that is where, under here, the group information, group settings, is where all that stuff's going to change, group rules, etc. All right, so Chelsea's going to move right into LinkedIn and compliance, and if that's where you fall under that.
Okay. So using LinkedIn can be tricky for people that are in the financial services industry, just because financial advisors are limited to what they can and can't post. Compliance rules and regulations vary from firm to firm, so before posting anything linked to LinkedIn, check with your compliance department about your specific policy that you must follow for social media. What I'm about to go over, these are just simply suggestions. So obviously it's going to be different from person to person depending on what your policy is. But just, first things first, always just check with your compliance department. Okay, so our first suggestion is to get your profile approved by compliance. So get everything on there, everything that you want to post to your profile, obviously name, company, everything that Jesse went over at the beginning, and get that approved by compliance. The second step is that we suggest is once you get that approved, you're most likely going to have to get all of the content that you're going to want to publish. You're going to have to get that approved as well. So we suggest submitting a few months worth of content depending on how fast your compliance department gets back to you. And then once that content is approved, we would suggest creating a send calendar to follow each month that says what you'll post to your LinkedIn profile, company pages, and any groups that you're a part of. Our third suggestion is we know that some compliance departments, they might require you to document and archive all of your activity on LinkedIn. So whether they're comments in groups or posts and shares that you've posted on your profile, we suggest documenting this, and you might actually be required to. So either take computer screenshots of everything that you post, or an easier way for groups at least is you go into the group that you're a part of that you've posted in, and on that homepage there's going to be a little picture, your headshot of, or whatever your profile picture is on your LinkedIn, and there's a little link that says your activity. You're going to want to click on that, and then everything that you've posted to this group is going to come up. So you can see I've posted 3 times to the Marketing the Law Firm group. One thing that we have heard is a big thing with compliance is the recommendations feature, just because it's advertising and financial advisors aren't necessarily supposed to be doing that. So one way is to turn off the recommendations feature. So if you go to your privacy and settings, at the top of your profile, and then this page is going to pop up, and you just click this Manage Your Recommendations down here. And then this page is going to pop up the manage recommendations that you've received. So you can see at the bottom for when I was an intern at InnoVision, I had 2 recommendations. So you click on that manage, and then you can see both Kim and Scott Hamilton had recommended me. So you just want to opt in to where it says show that box. So there would be a check mark, and you just click save, and then your recommendations won't be they won't be visible on your profile. And obviously, recommendations it's a huge thing. It's a really big feature and a great feature about LinkedIn. It's just um, some financial advisors can't. They're not allowed to have these visible. And then another suggestion is turning the endorsement feature off. And so these are going to be everything that what Jesse went over, your skills and expertise. So how to do this is you just click Edit Profile, and then this little edit button up at the top right, you want to click that. And this page will pop up, and it's going to say display your endorsements, and you want to click no, do not display my endorsements, or do not show my endorsements. And then none of your endorsements, like who has endorsed you, those won't be visible, but all of your skills and expertise will still be there. So for me, if I decided not to display my endorsements, that's fine, but I would still have email marketing, my social media marketing, my digital marketing, so people can still see, what you're skilled in, what your expertise is in. And then just our last little bit about compliance is make sure that any disclosure statements that you have to, that you're required to post that you have on there. So I just found a couple of people. One person works for Raymond James, and then another's Morgan Stanley. So again, everything that I just went over are just suggestions, but make sure that before you even get started on LinkedIn, that you talk with your compliance department and figure out what you are and aren't allowed to do.
All right, thanks, Chelsea. So to finish off the presentation, we're going to go into some LinkedIn tips. So get a pen and paper out and write these down. The first tip is to post regularly to your LinkedIn profile, company page, your group, and to other groups. So when we went over the profile, there was an activity feed that was right below, and that is just going to be a place to share an update here, to tag a company page, or to tag a content. And to tag a company page or contact in this post, you just start typing in, let's say, the contact's name, and you'll see how it's grayed out. It's creating a link, and same with the company page. It has to be exactly the name of the page or the contact. I know on Facebook you can edit those. LinkedIn doesn't give you that ability. Now once you start to tag something or you post a link, a brief description below that will go into the summary bar, and you do have the ability to edit that. So if you don't like the summary, which is just grabbed from the page that you are hyperlinking, this is the place to edit that. So this is a big tip, and we would say to post maybe once a week, share an article, share something that's in the news, congratulate someone, post to a group inviting them to a webinar that may be of interest, etc. So use your discretion, but this is our first tip. Second tip is to join groups and follow influencers. So that's tip 2 and 3. And where you're going to do this is if once you go down to linkedin.com, at the top, the far right, you have the interest tab. You're going to highlight that and scroll down. It's going to give you the options to join groups and follow influencers. What's nice about a LinkedIn feature is that it's going to give you influencers based on your information that would be of interest to you. So I have a bit of marketing, and I have a bit of financial planning, different advisors in influencers that are suggested to me to follow, and then groups is just going to be the place, and these are also displayed on your profile, which you can make private or public, to let others know what groups you of interest. And these are going to be the groups where you're going to want to stay up to date with information that people are posting, comment, answer questions, and also post information yourself. So we recommend joining groups that are in your industry or that are going to be beneficial for your skills or expertise, anything that you have of interest with. So even if it's an alum, I think these are of Chelsea, so she went to Iowa, so she's in part of an alum club for the Hawkeyes. And then just of anything else. Top influencers that you're going to want to follow are going to be similar, and these are going to show up on your news feed with any posts that they're going to be sending. So if they post something of an article, or they write an article, or they have a discussion that started, it will show up in your news feed. So that's something you want to pay attention to on your home page in LinkedIn. The next thing is endorsing others. I know we just went over this for compliance as well as for the profile, but this is going to give you the ability to endorse others, which are going to show not only their skills and expertise, but it's also going to show that you have the knowledge or the platform where you've worked with them in that industry. It's going to be highlighted. So let's see. I have endorsed this contact a couple times. You'll see your picture right there with the little blue line, and that shows that you've already endorsed that specific person. To go through and endorse somebody, you'll look and see where there is the blue plus sign that hasn't been enabled to blue, and to endorse them I just would click on that and it would show my endorsement. And what that's going to do, like I said before, is just you can either endorse them this way, which is a quick and easy step, which I think was a nice feature that LinkedIn added, or you can actually endorse someone through the recommendation where you write a brief description of a personalized recommendation for that contact. Another thing what the LinkedIn is allowing others to do is once they go to your profile, you'll see at the top it will say, do you want to endorse Chelsea Cagle for, and it will list her skills and expertise. And so if you do know that contact that you're looking at their profile and you know that they're an expert in estate planning, let's say, or small business, go ahead and just endorse them, and maybe you'll get an endorsement back. All right, the final thing is shorten links, and what this is going to do is just shorten a link from the full HTTP www.innovision.com, let's say, and then there's whatever the end of the link is. It's going to shorten that. Bitly gives you a shortened link for their own, so it's going to be this and then a / and some number sequence or letters. Hootsuite, which is a platform we use to monitor and post updates, gives you their own Owly link, which is what their little brand is, the owl. So, and it just takes that link, shortens it, your link shortens it up, and is a direct link to whatever page you're trying to display. So another thing that I wanted to mention too is to post pictures or images, documents, and videos. I went over this in the profile in your experience section, and to also add keywords and description under those images to help with SEO. So I just want to reiterate that, and like Chelsea said, we're going to sound a bit redundant, but it's very important that you are including keywords in your descriptions under anything that you have the option to add, because it is going to increase your SEO drastically. And then images and documents and videos are going to do the same thing. So you just want to make sure that all your platforms, whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all are including those keywords, so that just makes it all the more easily ready to search for you. All right, so to conclude, LinkedIn is a powerful tool for professionals. So if you're not using it, or if you're trying to use it, hopefully this webinar gave you some new ideas or expanded on some ideas that you have on how to improve your profile, your group, or whatnot. And don't forget to to share content, build referrals, and even find clients using your LinkedIn profile. The company page is just an easy way to get your name out where members can learn about your business, and you also can track analytics with that to see who's visiting your company page. The LinkedIn groups to share content and track engagement with Shorten Links and generate ideas and conversation. And then the tips to take away with: don't post too often, use Shorten Links, track your analytics, and tag your page. And from here, we're going to go into questions and comments. And as Chelsea mentioned in the beginning, you may either raise your hand or type your question into the chat box on the toolbar. And if you'd like to post your question to the group, we can unmute you if your hand's raised, and you may ask it. We do have one already raised. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Nedra. Hi, Nedra, are you there?
Yes, hi.
How are you doing today?
My question had to do with, I was a little unclear when you're talking about the endorsements and such, whether that comes through from the company page or from your personal profile.
Those are used on your personal profile page. So it's just the endorsements are going to be where you can add your different skills and expertise. And then there's also the endorsement recommendation where somebody can manually just type in a description of their recommendation of maybe the project they've worked on with you or whatnot.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there any more questions, Chelsea? Or
Let's see here. No, it doesn't look like we have any other questions.
Okay. Well, if you do think of any questions after the call, or if you revisit this webinar and you have something, or you're going along and updating your profile or your group, and you have a question, just email us at e2m@educatetomotivate.com. And if you need help creating or improving your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn company page, you can call us at 888-461-0000. And we do marketing consultations within that platform and other platforms as well as your website. Another thing, just want to reiterate, make sure to follow us, follow E2M on our different social media platforms at the images below. And we just want to thank you for joining us, and be sure to answer our exit question. This is just going to give us a little bit of an idea of what our audience wants to hear more about. If there's any topics specifically or social media that you want to know more about or you need help with, type those into the exit question, and we'll try to get those covered on our upcoming webinars. Other than that, thanks again for joining us. Call us or email us if you have any questions.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a great day.